Hello students, this is Hardik sir. We have already completed 4 parts of history lesson number 1, tracing changes through 1000 years from standard 7. Now we are with the 5th and the final part of the lesson, that is dealing with time and historical periods. So now we are going to get some information about time and historical periods. So the first word, as you can find, historians. Historian means the people who write history, who study history. So historians do not see time just as passing of hours, days or years, means not concerned with a clock or a calendar. For them, the time also changes, or the time reflects the changes in social and economical conditions of the people. So the changes in society and economy of the people ultimately gets changed over a period of time, over a passage of time, that is continuously in the persistence and transformation of ideas and even beliefs. So they all change with the passage of time. So these changes ultimately are reflected with the passage of time, and the study of history can be made easier just dividing history into some large segments which are known as periods. We have completed our ancient history in 6th standard. Presently we are studying medieval history in 7th standard, and by the next year we will be completing our modern history. So in the middle of 19th century, British historians divided Indian history into 3 periods. They were Hindu, Muslim and British. This division was made by James Mill, and this division was based on the idea of the religion of the rulers. So who ruled India over a period of time. In the beginning we had Hindu rulers, then we had Muslim, and then British by the time 19th century. So this idea dealt with only this religion of the rulers, and none of the other developments or significant developments were given important either in the economy or in the society or in the culture. And such a division also ignored the rich diversity of the subcontinent. So the diversity of subcontinent also was not given importance. According to this division, only the religion of the rulers that was given. So this division was made by British in 19th century. Few historians follow this periodization even today. So most of the historians look to economic and social factors to characterize the past. Means for them, the society and economy of the people can be the changes only for describing the past, and for few of them this periodization only matters. So the histories which we have completed last year in 6th standard, that dealt with early societies, hunters and gatherers, early farmers, people living in towns and villages, early empires and even kingdoms. So we have completed all this long passage of time in 6th standard. By this year what we are going to study is about medieval, that is middle age, that means 700 CE to 1750 CE, which we are going to study in this standard in this year. So we will find much about the how peasant societies were spread, how the regional and imperial states were formed, sometimes at the cost of pastoral and sometimes at the cost of forest people, how they rose, that we are going to get the information about. Ultimately we will also find 2 major things, that is the development of Hinduism and Islam as major religions, and also the most again that how European trading companies arrived to India. So this period, ultimately these different periods give us information about different characteristics of the society and even the economical conditions of the people. So histories which we have completed in 6th standard, that gave us a wide range from early societies, hunters and gatherers, up to the early empires. So we have even studied Mauryas also during last year, but this time we are going to see again the huge part, that is medieval range, peasant societies, how they were formed, even regional and imperial states, how they were formed, which we are going to see information even about the development of Hinduism and Islam as major religions. So there are a number of things which we are going to study along with the arrival of European trading companies. So the 1000 years which we are going to see, during 7th standard, there had been number of changes. So we find considerable change in this particular period. Of course, we can say that 16th century and 18th centuries were obviously different from 8th century or 11th century. Means from 8th to we compare 16th or 18th or 11th, we compare 16th or 18th, then there would be number of differences. There would be a number of change in all the aspects of life. So that is the reason that to describe the entire period as one historical unit has a lot of problems. That as we are going to describe such a period of 1000 years as only one historical unit has obviously a lot of troubles or a lot of problems. So moreover, the medieval period is also contrasted with modern period. But modernity carries with it a sense of material progress and intellectual advancement. So what do you mean by modernity? Modernity means that it carries with a sense of material progress and intellectual advancement. So during this period, material progress also grew and also the intellect of people advanced. But this seems to suggest, according to this, we can come to know that medieval period was lacking this. Actually, it was not the case. We feel with the definition of the modernity that medieval period did not have such material progress or intellectual advancement, but of course we know that this was not the case. So during the period of these 1000 years, the societies of the subcontinent were transformed often, and economies in several regions reached a level of prosperity. As the parts of Indian subcontinent became much and much prosperous, so that attracted the interest of European trading companies. And because of that, ultimately what we have already seen in the previous slide, that the arrival of the European companies. So because of the prosperity of this subcontinent, these European trading companies arrived to India. So when we are going to read this book, we will look out for signs of change. So whatever the changes have taken place, we will definitely look out for them, we will notice them, and also the historical processes at work. So while reading this book, we will continuously keep looking for signs of change and historical processes. Also, whenever we can, we will compare whatever we are reading in this book with what we have already completed last year. Means whatever we have completed in 6th standard, we will keep comparing with the 7th standard, and we will also find some changes and even the continuities. Wherever we can, we will try to find some changes and continuities, and also we will look at the world around us to see what else has changed or remained the same. So there are number of things which have changed, and there are number of things which have remained same. So we will continuously look for this number of things, that whatever the signs of changes we find, we will keep comparing this book with the book which we have completed last year, and also we find some of the things which are continuous today also, and some of the things which have also changed. So this is the end of the part 5. We have completed our first chapter of history tracing changes through 1000 years. So keep learning. All the best.